industries of energy.
We've got fantastic opportunities to use new technologies to secure the American people and at the same time be better stewards of the environment.
You have questions, we have answers.
Listen carefully.
You can't really be against hydrofracking and say you're an environmentalist because immediately the default options are fuels that are much less clean.
For the next hour, Shawn Wilson explores the energy industry with news and interviews from around the corner and around the globe.
Nuclear is one of the directions that we should innovate in.
The Exploring Energy Show begins now.
A very, very good Wednesday morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Exploring Energy Radio Show, 96.5 KECO. All right, got a couple things that I want to talk to you about here this morning. First of all, the Meals on Wheels. They are reopening under a brand new name. They're naming their kitchen Grandma's House. All right? One table, one community, one purpose. Every meal created with thought, cooked with care, packaged with love. They would like you to join them in the Rotary Club as they celebrate the rededication and naming of the Meals on Wheels Dining Hall, place of nourishment, connection, and community. It is Grandma's House is what they're calling it now. Grand reopening is tomorrow. That's tomorrow, January the 8th from 12 to 1 at the Dining Hall, 1510 West 9th Street in Elk City. So Grandma's House, that's what Meals on Wheels has renamed their kitchen. And again, they mean it when they say that each one of these meals are created with thought, cooked with care, packaged with love. One table, one community, one purpose. It's Grandma's House, grand reopening. You're invited tomorrow, January 8th, 12 to 1 at the Dining Hall, 1510 West 9th Street in Elk City. Here's what's on the menu at Grandma's House today. Goulash, salad, breadstick, and peaches. Tomorrow it's chicken noodle soup. Green beans, roll, and pudding is what's on the menu for tomorrow at Grandma's House. The Meals on Wheels dining area, open 11 to 1, Monday through Friday. Regular meals, $8. Senior citizens meals, just $7. Again, everyone is welcome. 225-5821. You can call in your order. Again, everybody invited to the renaming of the Meals on Wheels kitchen to Grandma's House. That's tomorrow, 12 to 1 at the Dining Hall, 1510 West 9th Street in Elk City. Let's all get behind this great program. No better way to do it than tomorrow being a part of it or just going by there and eating. I also got this little tidbit in here from our illustrious Nick Archer. Nick Archer just got through telling me that, you know what, he just wants to remind all high school juniors and seniors, the Capitol Page program, where you go up there and be a page for a day at the Capitol, is open now. You can apply online, ok.gov, okhouse.gov, okhouse.gov/pages. And no one from his district, our district out here, has applied yet, according to the coordinator. So if you're a parent of a junior or senior and you'd like them to be a page, kind of see how things happen up on the Capitol here in Oklahoma, you can have them apply or apply for them at okhouse.gov, okhouse.gov/pages. And we need to get a page up there from our district. Thank you, Nick Archer, for your service. And I couldn't imagine somebody better to spend the day with than Nicholas Archer, for sure. Maybe one of you parents out there, grandparents out there would encourage your child to do so if they're a high school junior or senior. Also, the Carnegie Caravan, still bringing you free books right here in the Elk City area. Friends of the Carnegie Library loading those books up in the Carnegie Caravan, bringing them right to you. If you're having trouble reading regular print, ask them about a program, a free program that can help. You can call 225-0136, 225-0136. Okay. Get right to it here this morning. It is Remember When Wednesday on the Exploring Energy Radio Show. Looking forward to going back in time with the American Oil and Gas Society. Always do. And I'm looking forward to it again today. Here's some energy prices, and they're fluctuating a little bit because of the talks about the Venezuela oil. West Texas Intermediate on the New York Mercantile Exchange is down 29 cents to $56.84 a barrel. It's a January contract. Brent crude oil on the ICE Futures Exchange down 12 cents, trading at $60.58 a barrel on a February contract out of London. Tocom crude oil out of Tokyo is down 1,350 yen per kiloliter. A New York Mercantile Exchange natural gas did come on the upside. It's up 16 cents, trading at $3.51 per million BTU. The refined products are Bob gasoline on the New York Mercantile Exchange January contract up $1.50 to $171.56. The heating oil on the New York Mercantile Exchange up 79 cents to $209.09. That's up 38% from yesterday. And that is the January contract as well. December contract has gas oil trading down $5.75 to $608.50 per metric ton. So as I mentioned a second ago, the sharp gain in crude oil prices slipped a little bit yesterday as they were recorded on Monday as the prices fell about 2%, trading as the market remained unsure how to react to the U.S. capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro during a weekend raid in which no U.S. military personnel lost their lives. Government officials in Caracas and Washington are discussing exporting Venezuelan oil to refiners here in the United States. 5 government, industry, and shipping sources told Reuters on Tuesday, a deal that could divert supplies away from China while helping state company, the PDVSA, Petróleos de Venezuela, avoid deeper output cuts. A boost in Venezuelan exports could hurt Canadian companies that sell a similar heavy oil and small Chinese refiners, which would face higher costs of Venezuelan crude diverts to the United States. While the president is in talks regarding on how to handle the Venezuelan oil situation, Brent crude, the international standard, fell about 1.7%. So, again, that's kind of the geopolitical pressures on our oil and gas industry with this Venezuelan situation. So, the one thing that I've taken away from everything that I'm seeing here, and I think it was like 30 to 50 million barrels of oil, and Trump said that he may just put that back in the petroleum reserve and give fair market value for that. I'm not sure exactly what he is going to do yet, but he's going to do something. There are a lot of people who think that that's the only reason that he went down there and captured Maduro. This is just one of the positives that came from it, in my opinion. Talk a lot about these data centers. Well, the Luther residents here in Oklahoma, they're fighting it. One thing is clear following a Monday meeting in Luther, many of the residents have serious and heartfelt opposition to a proposed data center that they first reported about last year. As News 9 TV reported, residents gathered to coordinate their opposition to the proposed data center that would cover about 400 acres between North Triple X Road and North Luther Road. Residents say they are worried that the project will use excess water and that chemicals from the project could pollute water sources in the area. They're also concerned about who will be responsible for funding the bill. Beltlight Energy, based in Georgia, made known its plans last year to consider development near the eastern Oklahoma county town. KOCO-TV News reported that the residents used the meeting to voice opposition to a second project, a 40-mile transmission line proposed from Luther to Piedmont. The project, according to TransSource, the firm proposing the line, is not part of the data center effort, but it is also on the front of that meeting. This is not tied to the data center or to support any kind of generation. It's purely to address that congestion in central Oklahoma on the existing grid, Michael Harris, project outreach specialist for TransSource, said. You're going to hear more and more about these communities. You know, it's they've got to go somewhere. I mean, it's common sense that the United States is going to have to continue to do this. You know, and they're like, okay, hey, put it out in, very remote areas. You know, maybe so. But there's still going to have to be transmission lines dropped into them. They're going to have water source, those kind of things like that. So it's going to be interesting to see just how states and the United States government handle this deal. But I can tell you right now, the residents, I haven't seen an article where it says, hey, come on in, we're ready for you, let's rock and roll, so there is opposition to it. Of course, then again, too, It's about like anything else. The criers and those that are against it are louder. They're not always the majority, in most cases not the majority, but those that have, are neutral with the idea, they're not going to go fight it or fight for it. So I don't know. It's one of those things that's going to continue to be like that here in the state of Oklahoma and other states where data centers are concerned. I'm going to take a break, pay a couple bills here from our great sponsors, and I'll be back with Remember When Wednesday right after this on 96.5 KECO. Stick around, won't you?
The Exploring Energy Show.
They're expecting me to get whatever task done. To a farmer, a tractor, combine, gets them up and running. He's back in the field, makes some money. Guy in the oil field, their piece of equipment's running again. That makes some money. Solves that problem. I'm Brock Kalk, and my company is American Hose and Supply. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings, oil field or agriculture. So if your farmer need a hose built, you can come in, we'll build it. You're a oil field customer and need us to come out and see you, we'll come out and see you and take an order or pick up a hose, build it, bring it back to you. If we're competitive on price, we say we'll bring it to you. We'll do whatever it takes to get it to you, make life easier on you, or you can call us to solve a problem. Hey, can you get this? Why wouldn't you? American Hose and Supply, 2111 South Main, Elk City, Oklahoma, in Camrock Building next to Fred's.
Or call 303-1123. 303-1123.
Why wouldn't you?
We did the Veterans Monument in Oklahoma City. At the time we did it, they didn't want any names on it. They were just doing the different wars in bronze panels on granite. 20 years later, they decided they want all the veterans' names on the back of the monument. Well, there's no way to engrave it, so they wanted to put bronze names on there. We said, you can't, that won't work well. They ended up finding someone that would put the bronze names on there, and then they started kind of popping off and everything. So then they called us to go in and see how we could clad it and get the names on it after the fact. So there's just things that come up in the granite industry where you have to investigate and figure out how to fix it or create it. Some things you just won't do, but, there's projects that are nice out there that not everybody will have a hand in, will want to have a hand. Willis Granite Products. Our website is willisgranite.com.
You got 5-6 tractors out there. You got a dozer, a traco, a grader, something like that. I mean, you go through a lot of oil in a season. I mean, you'll use a few hundred gallons in a season. So here at Camrock, we have the same specification oil as the other brand, where people think that they have to use that for a certain color on their tractors and stuff like that. But we have the same oil specifications as they do. Works just as well, does the same thing, lubes it just the same. Price comparison is, it's not even a comparison. We have a better price than anybody around on that type of oil. They can come in and talk to us, see what they want, or give us a call, and we can come out, see what they have, fill their tanks, set them tanks. That's what we've done here in the past. We've converted a lot of farmers over to our brand, our house brand of motor diesel oil. The price savings it's huge for them. We sell it to oilfield companies also. They use it in frac pumps, and they're not happy, you know it, and it's working great for them. Camrock is the name of the company. It's 2111 South Main, Elk City, south of Fred's Steakhouse. The price savings it's huge for them.
Level up your fitness at Modern Fitness. With 24-hour access, you can work out anytime you want. Modern Fitness in Elk City. Get in shape and have fun doing it at a really nice gym.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
This show brought to you in part by Fred's Steakhouse, your destination for fresh USDA graded beef, ribeyes, New York strips, filet mignon. Sirloins are hand-cut daily by the in-house butcher. Also home of the $4.99 famous chicken fried steak, served daily, hand-battered, house-made mashed potatoes, country gravy. Fred's also has numerous side options available, along with fresh salads, soup of the day. Chicken is your choice. Fred's has grilled, barbecue, teriyaki, mushroom, baja, of course, fried chicken, 7 kinds. Maybe seafood's what you crave. Fred's has a variety to choose from. They've also got freshwater catfish. They've got appetizers sure to please everybody at the table. Cap off your dining experience with fresh in-house made desserts. And they also have a full-service bar. If you like to have a drink or some beer with your meal, they have that. Fred Steakhouse can host your private event located at 2107 South Main Street in Elk City. Call 243-2100. Order online on the Chow Now app. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And ASCO Equipment had a great visit yesterday with E.J. Gredeman about this company and how solid they are and the kind of relationships they build with their customers or future customers, past customers. ASCO is doing it right. They've been, doing it since 1960, operating under the core values of honoring God, developing people, pursuing excellence, and growing profitability. ASCO Equipment sells, rents, and provides parts and service for big equipment for ag, construction, material handling, mining equipment. 27 locations throughout Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. One right here in Elk City, 513 West 20th Street. If you're looking for heavy equipment, this is your outfit for sale or rent. You can rent to own, you can trade in your equipment. You're going to find that they are all about getting good quality equipment to a job site. Help you get your job done and done right. Any job is easier when you got the right tools. ASCO Equipment can provide you that. $21 million worth of parts in stock, 200 factory-trained certified technicians, 140 field service trucks, and they will come right to where you are. Work on your equipment, no matter when you bought it, who you bought it from, or what brand it is. Equipment sales, look for Bart Shields. Equipment rental is E.J. Gredeman, branch manager Jeremy Bridgman. They all can help you out there. 323-3422, online, ASCOEQ.com. Okay, get right over here to it. It's Remember When Wednesday, brought to you by the American Oil and Gas Historical Society, AOGHS.org. Here's what's happened this week in petroleum history, January 5th through the 11th. On January the 7th, 1864, oilfield discovery at Pit Hole Creek. The once famous Pit Hole Creek oil field, discovered in Pennsylvania by a well drilled by the United States Petroleum Company, reportedly located by using a witch hazel dowser. It was a witcher, a divining rod, basically. The discovery well, which initially produced 250 barrels of oil a day, made headlines and created a boomtown pit hole 5 years after the first U.S. oil well at nearby Titusville. Adding to the boom were Civil War veterans eager to invest in the new industry. Newspaper stories added the oil fever, as did the legend of Coal Oil Johnny. Tourists today visit Oil Creek State Park and its education center on the grassy expanse that was once Pit Hole. I mean, I don't know how good of a diviner you had to be. I think that oil was all over Pennsylvania. But nonetheless, they brought it out there and witched it out. All right, January 7th, 1905, Humble oil field discovery rivals Spindletop. C.E. Barnett discovered the Humble oil field in Harris County, Texas, with his Beatty No. 2 well, which brought another Texas drilling boom 4 years after the Spindletop launched the modern petroleum industry. Barrett's well produced 8,500 barrels of oil a day from a depth of just 1,012 feet. The population of Humble jumped from 700 to 20,000 within months as production reached almost 16 million barrels of oil, the largest in Texas at the time. The field directly led to the 1911 founding of the Humble Oil Company by a group that included Ross Sterling, a future governor of Texas. Production from several strata were exceeded, and the total for the fabulous Spindletop from about 1946 notes a local historic marker known as the Greatest Salt Dome Field. Humble still produces, and the town for which it was named continues to thrive. Another giant oil field discovery in 1903 at nearby Sour Lake helped establish the Texaco Company. So that's what's going on this day in history. Okay, continuing on our track through time with the American Oil and Gas Historical Society, AOGHS.org. Humble Oil, named Humble Oil and Refining Company in 1917, consolidated operations with Standard Oil of New Jersey 2 years later, eventually leading to ExxonMobil. And I live on a dairy farm, but I didn't get as lucky as this gal right here. January 7th, 1957. Michigan dairy farmer finds giant oil field. After 2 years of drilling a wildcat well on Fern Hauschnick's Michigan dairy farm, discovered the state's largest oil field. The 3,576-foot deep well produced from the Black River Formation of the Tintran Zone. The Hecksnick #1 discovery well at Rattlesnake Gulch revealed a producing region 29 miles long and more than 1 mile wide. It prompted a drilling boom that led to production of 150 million barrels of oil, 250 billion cubic feet of natural gas from the Great Albion Scipio field in the southern Michigan basin. The story of the discovery well of Michigan's only giant oil field, using the worldwide definition of having produced more than 100 million barrels of oil from a single contiguous reservoir, is the stuff of dreams, noted Michigan historian Jack Westbrook in 2011. The Golden Gulch of Oil. Learn more about that in a sub-story on aoghs.org. January 7th, 1913, cracking patent improves refining. William Burton of the Standard Oil Company's Whiting, Indiana refinery received a patent for a process that doubled the amount of gasoline produced from each barrel of oil refined. Burton's invention came as gasoline demand was rapidly growing with the popularity of automobiles. His thermal cracking concept was an important refining advancement, although the process would be superseded by catalytic cracking in 1937. Still a pretty big deal. January the 8th, 1903, Sour Lake discovery leads to Texaco. Founded a year earlier in Beaumont, Texas, the Texas company struck oil with its FEE #3 well, which flowed at 5,000 barrels of oil a day, securing the company's success in petroleum exploration, production, transportation, and refining. After gambling its future on the site's drilling rights, the discovery during a heavy downpour near Sour Lake's Mineral Springs turned the company into a major oil producer overnight, validating the risk-taking insight of the company co-founder J.S. Cullinan and the ability of driller Walter Sharp. Explained to Texaco historian, the Sour Lake field and wells drilled in the Humble oil field 2 years later led to the Texas company becoming Texaco, acquired by Chevron in 2001. You can learn more about that. Sour Lake produces Texaco. John D. Rockefeller. Boy, there's a guy whose name just keeps popping up in this deal. January 10th, 1870. John D. Rockefeller and 5 partners incorporated the Standard Oil Company in Cleveland, Ohio. The new oil and refining venture immediately focused on efficiency and growth. Instead of buying barrels, the company bought tracts of oak timber, hauled the dried lump timber to Cleveland on its own wagons, and built its own 42-gallon oil barrels. Standard Oil's cost per wooden barrel dropped from $3 to less than $1.50 as the company improved refining methods to extract more kerosene per barrel of oil. There was no market for gasoline at that time, but by purchasing properties through subsidiaries, dominating railroads, and using local price cutting, Standard Oil captured 90% of America's refining capacity back in 1870. There's a monopoly, no doubt about it. Okay, we're going to hear about Spindletop when we continue. But first of all, I'm going to take a break, pay a couple bills, hear from our great sponsors, and be back with more of today's Exploring Energy Radio show right after this.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
Isn't it interesting the things we do with labels when it comes to oil and natural gas?
You know, saying the world is coming to an end is it's a bit of a crazy statement. And I'm sure in those 100 years with the natural gas that we have, we will find some other way to produce energy.
So you're not worried? You're an optimist?
Yeah.
Good.
So I just think people have lost perspective on how much oil and gas is crucial to how they live.
See their stories at oerb.com/micro.
You can swirl it, you can sip it, but the best way is to share it. Hey y'all, I'm Deanna, a team member at my local Chick-fil-A. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and new frosted sodas and floats is how well they go together. You get that bold flavor of the Coke mixed with the smooth deliciousness of the vanilla ice cream. You have a juicy filet and a smooth, creamy float. It's an awesome pairing.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and a new frosted soda and float at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant. Real team member paid for their testimonial.
Time timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the OSSAA and the Oklahoma Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Looking for the perfect venue for your next event? Look no further than the Frisco Center, located in the heart of western Oklahoma. Whether it's a stunning wedding, a joyful reception, a memorable birthday party, or a professional seminar, we've got you covered. With spacious rooms and exceptional service, Frisco Center is designed to make your special occasion unforgettable. Located at 101 South 4th Street in Clinton, Oklahoma. Call us today at 580-323-7874 to book your date. The Frisco Center, where every event is a reason to celebrate.
Are you in a bind and need some cash fast? Yes Finance in Elk City loves to say yes. They can help relieve stress with a loan up to $1,300. Most loans are approved in 30 minutes or less. Yes Finance takes pride in helping you get the money you need for any occasion. Go by the office at 1414 West 3rd Street in Elk City or apply online at localloangroup.com. Again, that's localloangroup.com. At Yes Finance, they love to say yes.
Hi, it's Andy Taylor. We're living in some very turbulent times. It's easy to get discouraged in the normal course of life, but the good news is God has all the answers. His presence and companionship always makes all the difference. A big part of what we do at Trinity Fellowship is to help people in the process of coming into relationship with the Father. We'd love to help you. Our services start at 10 a.m. on Sunday. You can find us on our Trinity Fellowship Facebook page, or you can listen right here on KECO at 9:30. We'd love to have you be part of our family.
Try the penny news for your business. It's the little paper with a big punch.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
Farmers use a lot of oil every season. Oilfield companies use a lot of oil all the time. Camrock's oil is the same specification, same oil, lubricates the same as the designer brands, but costs a lot less. That's the difference. The cost. Everything else is the same. The cost is different. Costs less with Camrock. Folks who use a lot of oil save a lot of money with Camrock. Camrock Supply on South Main Street in Elk City next to Fred's Steakhouse. Everything you need for a motor engine. If they don't have it, they'll get it in for you. CamrockSupply.com. CamRockSupply.com. Locations in Elk City, Oklahoma City, Midland, Texas, Ulysses, Kansas. 3 local guys with local ties doing business with their communities. And David Allen Guest, a guy that will help you, give you back time and get you the most out of your royalties. There you go. David Allen Guest, certified mineral manager. If you're looking for somebody to help you manage or do your managing minerals, your royalties, he's the guy. He's been doing it for himself and others for over 40 years now. He's understanding that it's complicated. It's a process that's ever changing. He stays on top of it. It's all about knowing what's going on on the wells in your area. It's there's so much to this, and David understands that he'll help you navigate through every aspect of it. He's truly a man of integrity. That's the bonus point right there. A guy that you'll be glad that you're doing business with. He's easy to talk to. He understands. He's smart. He doesn't try to wield his knowledge like a sword and make you feel like a dummy. He'll just show you what he can do, as he is definitely an investment, not an expense. And if you find yourself in a situation to sell, David, he's the buyer of royalties from estates, probates, trusts, and bankruptcies. As I've often said, you don't want somebody to take advantage of you. David's a guy that you can trust. David Allen Guest, certified mineral manager. Call him today, 405-341-8698. 405-341-8698. Well, I know I'm the only one that's having trouble with congestion and allergies. Man, this has been a long season. People curse that killing frost, but I promise you, we could sure use some rain to knock that red cedar down and all of the things that are going on with that. So, okay, we'll get back here to this, and we'll get that banner up. We'll come over here and get back to Remember When Wednesday, brought to you by the American Oil and Gas Historical Society, AOGHS.org, Bruce and Chris Wells. It doesn't cost you anything to get on the site, but if you could throw them a few extra dollars everything that they get goes right back into maintaining this site. The traffic they get helps with the advertisement they sell with those that are on the site. So if you can get on there and navigate through it, you'll be glad you did. Sign up for the free newsletter. It's awesome. I know a lot of people have, and if you haven't, it's really easy to do so. AOGHS.org. Back at it. This week in petroleum history. January 10th, 1901, Spindletop launches the modern petroleum history. The modern U.S. oil and natural gas industry began 123 years ago on a small hill in southeastern Texas when a wildcat well erupted near Beaumont. The Spindletop field, which yielded 3.59 million barrels of oil by the end of 1901, would produce more oil in one day than all the rest of the world's oil fields combined. Yow. The Lucas Gusher and other nearby discoveries changed American transportation by providing abundant oil for cheap gasoline. The drilling boom would bring hope to a region devastated just a few months earlier by the Galveston hurricane, still the deadliest in U.S. history. Petroleum production from the Wells geologic salt dome had been predicted by Petilio Higgins, a self-taught geologist and Sunday school teacher. You can learn more about that in Spindletop launches the modern petroleum industry. Okay, give me a little drink of this Java. January 10th, 1919, Elk Hills oil field discovered in California. Standard Oil of California discovered the Elk Hills field in Kern County in the San Joaquin Valley, soon ranked among the most productive oil fields in the country. They became embroiled in the 1920s Teapot Dome lease scandals and yielded its billionth barrel of oil in 1992. Visit the petroleum exhibits of the Kern County Museum in Bakersfield and the West Kern Oil Museum in Taft. That 1920s Teapot Dome lease scandal was, can you imagine that? A politician from California being bribed. Okay. Some things just don't change. January 10th, 1921, oil boom arrives in Arkansas. Suddenly, with a deafening roar, a thick black column of gas and oil and water shot out of the well, noted one observer in 1921 when the Busey Armstrong No. 1 well struck oil near El Dorado, Arkansas. H.L. Hunt would soon arrive from Texas with $50 that he had borrowed and joined lease traders and speculators at the Garrett Hotel, where fortunes were soon made and lost. Union County's dream of oil had come true, reported the local newspaper. The giant Arkansas field would lead to U.S. oil output in 1925 and production reaching 70 million barrels. Learn more about that sub-story, First Arkansas Oil Wells. January 11th, 1926, Ace Borger discovers oil in North Texas. Following early 1920s, Gulf Oil Company launched natural gas. Okay, here, I'm getting a little behind myself here. I'm going to put a picture of this deal up here of one of the wells that were going on out there near Borger for our Facebook viewers. And then we'll get back at it again. We'll start again. January 11, 1926. Following the early 1920s Gulf Oil Company oil and natural gas discoveries at Carson County of the Texas Panhandle, Dixon Creek Oil and Refining Company completed a wildcat well in southern Hutchinson County, drilled by A.P. Ace Borger of Tulsa, Oklahoma, on a 240-acre lease. The Smith No. 1 well flowed at 10,000 barrels of oil per day. By September, the field was producing more than 165,000 barrels of oil a day. And this is 1926, mind you. After establishing his Borger Town Site Company, Borger laid out streets and sold lots for the town, which grew to 15,000 residents in just 90 days. When the oil field produced large amounts of natural gas, the town named its minor league baseball team the Borger Gassers. The team left the league in 1955, and owners blamed air conditioning and television for reducing attendance at ball games. Dedicated in 1977, the Hutchinson County Boomtown Museum in Borger celebrates oil boom heritage every March. But it's very interesting to see this picture of this wooden derrick and the houses around it. And then the road going into it. But it was a cable tool drilling in the Texas Panhandle, Hutchinson County. It's a picture of this discovery at Dixon Creek, where you can actually see the creek bed. It was the dry season. Imagine that over around Border. But nonetheless, this has been Remember When Wednesday, brought to you by the American Oil and Gas Historical Society, AOGHS.org. So many stories, so many people tied into the oil and gas industry that you'd have no clue about. So many discoveries and inventions, things that don't have anything to do with the oil and gas industry, like the Frisbee. You know, who'd have thought that came from oil and gas business? Dr. Seuss, all those great things. So, again, if you get a chance to get on there, navigate around. But, again, if you can hit that support button, it's very secure. They won't continue to dun you for money. They'll be appreciative of what it is you send in. And everything they get goes, and then a lot of their own goes right back into maintaining this site, updating it, adding new stuff all the time. And I can promise you this, it's not on that site unless it has been well vetted by both of the brothers through their exhaustive research. So AOGHS.org, American Oil and Gas Historical Society. Get on the website and get yourself educated. See where we've been to get to where we're going. That's my motto. Okay. So the nuclear study to take center stage for regulators, not the firing of a couple of their upper level managers, but the OCC, the Oklahoma Corporation Commissioners, will attempt to return to normal business today after removing two of its top officers over the past week. It was last week when the three regulators fired Brandy Reith as Director of Administration, and this week when Communications Chief Trey Davis was also removed from his position at the agency. Instead, the 1:30 p.m. agenda calls for a discussion of the legislatively required study of nuclear power development in the state. Commissioners are complying with Senate Bill 130, signed last June into law by Governor Kevin Stitt. The new law requires the Corporation Commission to evaluate whether nuclear power can play a role in Oklahoma's future energy mix. Okay, it says right here that the law gave corporation commissioners, and I'm getting a little text here from Nick Archer. So, yeah, that's what he's been working on for the nukes. I'll get looking at that here in just a little bit. But anyway, the law gave corporation commissioners a March 9th deadline to comply with the Oklahoma Energy Initiative Act. Oklahoma has no existing nuclear power plants. Okay, however, at least 3 utilities responded so far to the Oklahoma Corporation Commission's attempt to comply with a new state law requiring a study of possible nuclear energy generation in Oklahoma. One is suggesting consumers be hit with the CWIP method of making long-term payments while nuclear power plants are being built. So construction while in progress, okay? So they can recoup that money when really, as soon as they break ground. OK Energy today reported in October that in its response, Western farmers explained it is heavily reliant on renewable energy, with about 24% of the 2024 portfolio comprised of energy from wind, solar, and hydro sources. Its governing board of trustees is focused on cost containment as a priority. It also supported the commission's study of nuclear power, stating nuclear energy is just one piece of energy policy, as is fossil, wind, solar, battery, hydro, hydrogen, etc. Oklahoma Gas and Electric, OG&E, in a 1.5 page response, said it had included nuclear generation costs in its recent integrated resource plans as required by the commission. It also pointed out that the firm's own 2024 IRP should be, project capital cost of small modular reactors to be relatively high compared to other available generation options. And these costs for generations are ultimately borne by OG&E's customers. In conclusion, OG&E said it looked forward to demonstrations of safe, robust, and cost-effective new nuclear generation projects and participation of such projects in the company's future RFPs. So now PSO, Public Service Company, provide a lot of electric out in this part of the world. In its response to the commission notice of inquiry, raised the controversial topic of CWIP, or construction work in progress. While declaring that nuclear power is safe, PSO said that if domestic nuclear generation experiences significant growth over the next 25 years as forecasted, it represents a significant economic opportunity for the state of Oklahoma. That's what PSO had to say about this deal. Nobody's telling you that, hey, they're going to start breaking ground and putting nuclear power plants in the state of Oklahoma. What they're saying is we need to look at this. And again, I mean, if you don't look at every opportunity is going to pass you by. Now, again, there's a whole lot of this fear factor with nuclear. I'm hoping through education, like on sources like my show, and, well, if you go and really start doing a deep dive into nuclear and what kind of progress they've made in safety, in the amount of uranium and those kind of things that you need, I recommend that, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But then again, too, you got the old NIMBYs, the not in my backyard deal, like, hey, nuclear's cool, but, let Kansas do it. So it's one of those deals to where you got to study it. And I applaud the legislature for saying, hey, listen, we can't just turn a blind eye to this deal. We need to look at this. We need to start studying it. We need to come back and show people, educate people on how safe this is, how economically feasible it is for Oklahoma, where they might put one. I remember many years ago, my father-in-law, my wife's stepdad, he was worked up at the Wolf Creek there in Kansas. And that company that built that was, and he was on the building side of it, was looking at putting one down near Muskogee. We even went and kind of scouted out the area and those kind of things like that back in the day. That's the only time I've ever really heard of a possible nuclear power plant and where they might put one. Of course, there was abundant water down there in that part of the country, and so I don't know. We'll wait and see. And these small modular reactors, they are a total different animal. The military has been using these things for years. In fact, these nuclear subs and these nuclear powered ships out in the ocean, that's what they have. They have small modular nuclear reactors on board. I'm not afraid to tell you, I was one of those kind of stupid people that thought a nuclear sub was a sub that ran on diesel but had nuclear weapons on board. I didn't realize that the nuclear was the power source that propelled that submarine through the water. We had Donnie on the show, and Donnie Walker, and he talked about how long the military's had the small modular reactors where they would actually go in and do tests on small islands and put these reactors up, and it produced electricity for that island. So, it's come a long way since the military really started doing it, but you figure that was back in Vietnam era. I mean, so this stuff has been around a long time. But now they're perfecting it, and they're starting to understand that to really achieve the electrical output goals of what the insatiable appetite for the American people have right now, or the world for that matter, for electrical and data centers and bit mining and all those kind of things. Electricity is going to be paramount. That's why over 100,000 new electricians are going to be needed in the next 3 to 5 years. Bad place to go get your certificate in the electrical field. I'll be back with the mop-up segment of today's Exploring Energy radio show right after this.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
You know why people like going out to eat? It's a little treat for them. They get to leave the house and go somewhere else and have somebody else cook the food and serve it to them and clean up afterward. All you got to do is pay and leave.
I know a lady that makes it at Janice's Cafe. We go out there and eat all the time. You know why? It's not at home, and it's better than what we cook. One of my favorite things to eat at Janice's Cafe? Catfish. It's good. It's got the crispy breading. Oh, it's like they made it with love, with a little bit more love on top of it.
Bacon cheeseburger.
Best bacon cheeseburger in the business. Name another one.
Mushroom and Swiss.
Best mushroom burger there is ever. Janice's Cafe can make all those burgers for you. Of course they got burgers. Got the best burgers you can have.
Do you think more people drink sweet tea or unsweet tea?
Well, you know what I am.
Half and half.
Half sweet, half unsweet. Janice is located on the south side of Elk City, where you go into the movie theater, right there next to Arby's. You'll be able to find it because there's a big old sign up there that says, Janice's Cafe.
Thank you just doesn't seem to be enough. There are lots of places to buy cars and lots of places to have them serviced. We are really humbled by the trust you placed in us at Barbara Dyson Ford last year. We don't take it for granted. You're the reason we had a terrific 2025. It was all because of you, and thank you for that. If you need us in 2026, we'll still be in the northeast part of Elk City and online at barbadysonford.net. We'd be honored to serve you this year.
When she walked into the store, she looked around, and then she said,
Am I in Dallas?
That's because the space was so big, so nice, and so full of beautiful things. Now, you and I love living right here in western Oklahoma. We like the small town friendliness. We like knowing each other. We like feeling safe. And we like being able to get where we're going pretty quickly. But now there's a store you can visit right here in western Oklahoma that makes you feel like you're shopping in a massive metropolitan area. Ever since Grandview Pharmacy and Gifts moved into their new digs, they keep getting the same reaction from people.
Wow, this looks fabulous.
The store is big and beautiful, and it's full of things that'll make your home beautiful and make you look and feel great. If you know, you know. But if you haven't been in yet, you're missing out on a big city shopping experience right here in little old western Oklahoma.
Grandview Pharmacy and Gifts, now located at 1503 West 3rd Street in Elk City.
Craving a real steak? Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City is firing up flavors 7 days a week. The grill is always hot and the steaks are always fresh. From juicy char-grilled ribeyes, fillets, and sirloins to chicken fried steak, hearty burgers, seafood, and chicken, there's something for everyone. Don't forget the appetizers, salads, and desserts to top it off. Bring your appetite. We'll handle the rest. Dine in or order online now on the DoorDash app. It's more than just a steakhouse. It's Fred's.
If your computer won't go, call an ITL Pro. Innovative technology, 243-1559. Online at itlpros.com.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
And welcome back. This show brought to you in part by Sustaining Oklahoma's Energy Resources, SOAR, part of the Oklahoma Energy Resources Board. Some upcoming educational opportunities. Tier 2 reporting January 14th. That's a 10 a.m. Zoom meeting. It's free. You don't have to go to Oklahoma City. We just talked about thresholds for planning quantities, proper completion of Tier 2 forms, which is basically reporting your hazardous chemical inventories in Oklahoma, and the importance of accurate chemical classifications and storage details. That's all going to be in that class. Tier 2 reporting. If it applies to you or your company, get yourself registered or your people registered before January 13th into business. And then SPCC training, effective oil spill prevention, control, and countermeasures plans. That's going to be the 29th of January, 11 a.m. Zoom meetings, managing spills and staying compliant. Go to www.soer.oerb.com, SOAR, SOER.oerb.com, for a complete list or to register for SOAR's upcoming educational opportunities. Just simply visit SOAR, SOER.oerb.com. An American Hose and Supply. Go to those who know hose. Make yourself money. Your equipment, your machinery has to keep running. That's paramount. They'll help you do it. American Hose and Supply, they'll help you do it. Whether you plan ahead, they stock you before it happens, or when it happens and you react to it. They are there to help. American Hose and Supply inside the Camrock building next to Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City. Call 303-1123, 303-1123. Located inside the Camrock building next to Fred's Steakhouse. It's American Hose and Supply. Go to those who know hose. This hour's weather forecast brought to you as a service of Carter Electric. They provide 24-hour emergency electrical service. So if your power goes out in the middle of the night or on the weekend, you can call them. You want to make sure your power stays on regardless? Well, Carter Electric is an authorized Generac generator dealer. Size it, sell it to you, install it, come back and service it. Kervin and Mary Orgain, they're the owners of Carter Electric to help you see the light of day even at night. And a lot of electric work goes on overhead. Carter Electric has pole trucks, man lifts to get way up high if there's a problem up there. It's licensed, insured, trusted. It's Carter Electric. Licensed, insured, trusted. Carter Electric, 225-2447. Call them at 225-2447, providing you this hour's weather forecast, the service of Carter Electric. Today, mostly cloudy with a high near 69. South wind 9 to 17 miles per hour with gusts as high as 26. It'll be a little blustery out there. Showers likely after midnight. Mostly cloudy with a low around 51. South winds 11 to 13 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. Chance of precipitation is up to 70%. New precipitation amounts of less than 1/10 of an inch possible. 40% chance of showers before noon tomorrow. Cloudy through mid-morning, then gradual clearing with a high near 70. Southwest winds 13 to 22 miles an hour, gust to 33. Thursday, mostly clear with a low around 33. West winds 7 to 9 miles per hour, becoming north-northeast after midnight. Going to cool down just a bit. Friday, a 20% chance of showers after noon. Mostly sunny with a high near 50. Northeast winds 8 to 17 miles per hour with gusts as high as 26 on Friday. Friday night, partly cloudy, low around 26. Saturday, sunny with a high near 51. Saturday night, around 25 for the low. Sunday, high near 52. Sunday night, low around 27. Monday, high sunny, a high near 58. Mostly clear Monday night, a low around 28. Sunny and high near 59 next Tuesday. So come on, rain. Whew, boy, are we needing it. I mean, it's getting to emergency kind of levels. I mean, you can see that we're in, red fire alert warnings and those kind of things like that. So be praying earnestly for rain, as we definitely need the moisture. Government officials in Caracas and Washington, with my energy news and my briefs, are discussing exporting Venezuelan crude to refiners in the United States. 5 government industry and shipping sources told Reuters. A deal that could divert supplies away from China while helping the state company in Venezuela avoid deeper output cuts. Venezuela has millions of barrels of oils loaded on tankers and in storage tanks that has been unable to ship due to the blockade on exports imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump since mid-December. President Donald Trump predicted Monday this week that within 18 months, American oil companies could be operating in Venezuela, saying the move could require a lot of money, but could happen sooner than later. Trump made the comments during an interview with NBC News. Venezuela holds the world's largest proven oil reserves at 303 billion barrels. But much of the crude is extra heavy, requiring specialized refining. Analysts say Louisiana's Gulf Coast, home of 6 of the world's largest heavy crude refineries, is positioned to receive significant volumes if Venezuelan oil flows resume. And Wyoming advocates accuse the Bureau of Land Management of sidestepping environmental law by issuing 255 drilling permits to a firm tied to a major Trump campaign donor. Okay. Anyway, developers behind Revolution Wind in Rhode Island and Empire Wind in New York joined Dominion Energy in challenging a Trump administration order halting 5 offshore wind projects over unspecified national security concerns. Governors of Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, and Rhode Island demanded classified briefings explaining the alleged threats posed by the paused offshore wind developments. Good stuff. Appreciate the American Oil and Gas Historical Society, AOGHS.org website for their contribution to our Remember When Wednesday each and every week. Here's some Paragon TV notes as it's tournament time again. Merritt Classic tips off tomorrow. Paragon TV will be broadcasting the full tournament. Merritt Girls Open Thursday at 6 p.m. against Hooker. Merritt Boys tip off Thursday at 7:20 p.m. versus Canadian. Tournament play continues Friday and Saturday. Hammond will have full coverage of the Warrior Classic running January 8th through the 10th. Hammond girls play Thursday at 11. The Hammond boys play Thursday at 7:45. Thanks again for listening. Have yourself a great day.
Kicking it with your best buds. That's 96.5 KECO, Elk City.
Chris Foster. President Trump says the U.S. will take control of 30 to 50 million barrels of Venezuelan oil. Members of Congress get briefings today on the military operation in Venezuela to capture the now former President Maduro and his wife.
This is the briefing that so many lawmakers wanted after the U.S. hit Venezuela on Saturday. Many lawmakers wonder what comes next, first in Venezuela and perhaps in Cuba.